Hello, this is a requested video for someone who has 2 children, who's coming out of religion and getting more into higher consciousness, and was thinking about the holidays that are approaching because she is not celebrating Christmas this year. And so she asked me to do something about my transition in my journey and how it was. So to be honest with you, it had nothing to do with consciousness, the decision to not celebrate Christmas the way that I used to. But it had everything to do with me being burnt out. It had everything to do with me seeing that I was spending my time cooking a week's worth of food, that I was buying gifts for everyone, overspending, overindulging, just meaningless things. You know, sometimes we set ourselves up for these unrealistic expectations, and then we end up getting overworked and stressed out about it. And I feel like that's the reason why this time of the year is so depressing for so many people, because they have these unrealistic expectations, and then they're looking outside at all the other people that's doing what they're not, and then they have to work overtime to provide. But all of these expectations is because they set them. You know, and I had set these, so I was the one that was responsible for pulling that back in. And so not only was it the need that I was setting too many unrealistic expectations, but it was also, I didn't know what the tradition was all about. There was a need for me to do research, you know. And so I began to want to figure out why. You know, sometimes we just carry on traditions. We do it because grandma did it or great grandmother did it or whatever. But I wanted to know why. What was Christmas really all about? So I did my own research and studied more into the winter solstice, you know, and more about the reason for bringing in the trees into our home, and you know, the evergreen tree being one of the trees that stayed green during the winter time. And so they would worship the tree and bring it into the home and put ornaments in it. And in the biblical text, it speaks of that. It speaks of, in the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, I believe it is, don't be like the heathen who goes into the forest and cut down the trees and bring it into the home and put ornaments on it. You know, and I was really deep into religion, and when I saw that, it was like an eye-opener, and it made me really more inquisitive. What are we celebrating, you know? And why are we doing these type of things? And now, just in hindsight, being conscious, you know, I know that trees are alive. I know that that's affecting Mother Nature, you know. I know trees are like standing people, so that's why I choose not to get the trees anymore. But I also know that it was overindulgent, just spending needlessly money that didn't need to be spent the way that I was doing it. This is just a personal journey of why I don't do Christmas anymore like I used to. But I will say this, I do not deprive my children. I still do, like we have, like on Black Friday this year, we did a just because day, and we hung out all day. And Black Friday, everybody knows, is a time when everything's on sale, but we bought things that we needed, and we spent time together. We went out to eat and whatever. We had a beautiful day, but we did it just because. And that way on Christmas Day, they won't feel a void, because they always have the things that they need, you know, throughout the year. You know, it's no different like than Valentine's Day. You know, on Valentine's Day, if I don't give my children a rose, that doesn't mean that I don't love them. And it's really, so Christmas is really not even about them. It is about things that's going on in the universe. And so sometimes we just get into the zone of doing what everybody else used to do, and we don't really realize why we're doing it. We're doing it just because. And I didn't want my children to be like that, because I am about knowing, I'm about helping my children on their journey. And I want to leave with them, whether I'm here or not. I want to leave with them all of the equipment, everything that they need to help them in this physical reality, because I am a strong believer that I can give them all the money in the world, but if I don't leave anything to help them with their soul, help them with their mentalism, I have left them nothing. So in this Christmas, we're still going to go out, you know, to the family. We don't judge other people for where they are. We just know what it means to us and what we're not doing, you know. So I just wanted to share that with you. Before I go away, I want to call my son. Jared! I want to call my son and, dude, they have, got to go somewhere? They have a lady with 2 children. And she not celebrating Christmas this year. And so she wanted to know how I transitioned. So what do you think the difference is? What does it mean to you that we don't celebrate it like we used to?
I mean, well, first off, like, not having Christmas, I don't consider it a loss at all, really. It's more like you're getting rid of, like, all the extra. Because, like...
all that work.
Exactly, like, you don't need, like, this one big day to come around for you to go buy somebody a gift or to show your appreciation or love for somebody, you know?
Right.
Like, it's not really about that. You can do that any day of the year. So, it just seemed like, I don't know, not pointless, but not necessary either.
But overkill of it, not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. Okay, I just wanted to share my take on it, and before I go, I want to leave you with this one thing. A new year is coming, but if we continue going into every new year with the same mentalism, it'll always be that previous year. We'll still be stuck in 2017. So do what's right for you and your family. But either way, enjoy the journey. You are so stupid.